what time it is, guys, because you've been waiting and I've been waiting too. This is the first drive video. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully everything goes smooth, but we will find out here shortly. And then we're going to take it for a danger ride. If you know that TV show, you're awesome. Man, what is causing all that freaking racket? Ha! Oh, well, it's the one and only BarelyCuda with a long big block 440 in it. That was on top of the car. All right, we're gonna make sure the brakes still work, kid. Get her off the jack stand. At least we know the back brakes work. You can see the greatness of the door that shuts. It's amazing. All right, I'm gonna get this off the jack stand.
All right.
Hey guys, so I know we were all really looking forward to seeing this BarelyCuda, you know, the one that's under a cover. It's currently raining. Make a spin. But you want to know something? I am currently having issues with a neighbor again with noise. He just hates our hobby. An extension, people who are into this hobby. Can't handle noise, but yet he'll drive around on a lawnmower with no mufflers. It's glorious. So, with that being said, because I'm having issues, I cannot drive the Barracuda on the street. For one, it's not legal. I've talked to a couple police officers, and they all agree it would just be a bad idea to try and drive it on the street. But what I can give you is what the car would sound like if it was going down the track. So that's what you're going to get to hear. Please use your imagination. I do apologize. We have all waited for this moment, but my license is not worth putting on the line. And I don't know how the street racer guys get away with it, but I'm just not going to chance it. So please, I hope this is good enough. Don't worry. Good weather will be here soon, and that BarelyCuda will be at the track. So please enjoy these sound bites of what it would sound like if the car was going down the road or down a track or whatever you want to call it, any strip of pavement. And with that, you guys are ready. Well, I put it in neutral on accident. I wanted to make sure all the tires were still up. It's not as bumpy as I thought it would be. I just broke all my zip ties that hold my door open.
Oh, shit.
I need a minute to compose myself. 4 months worth of work. I'm trying to get silly. And I got a lot of adrenaline, wanting to do a bunch of stupid stuff. And we're not about that. And by the way, this chip and seal they just put on our road, so that's another good reason, guys, why we're not going to do any burnouts, is that chip and seal will destroy those slicks. So, and we don't want to put a bunch of marks on our nice driveway. So I'm just going to take a minute, compose myself. Yeah, I need to get my safety loop in there. So we thought we had filmed the whole experience at driving to the backyard. Dad accidentally didn't have the filming going. As you can see, there's something hanging down below the car. Well, I went to go get this thing turned around and backed around, and I felt something that didn't feel quite right, and that was the drive shaft falling out. And I thought maybe at first it was the drive shaft being just a little too short, because I know it's a little bit short. It needs to be 48.5 roughly, or 48.125. 48.25 actually, and it's 48 exact. Upon looking, the freaking caps fell off the freaking end of the slip yoke, and I knew those caps on that conversion U-joint stuck out kind of excessive, and I had the C-clips from the inside, so how they came off I have no freaking idea. And also the brakes do work, but they are not super great, but they need to get seated in probably. When I was coming back down the road, I tried to slam on the brakes. Everything that was in the car is now in the front of the car that was in the back, and it doesn't quite stop super good, but I think it's just the pads and shoes need to get seated back in.
Yeah, we still got to try the line lock.
Yeah, so, and that's why you do a shakedown. Of course, I never planned on racing with that drive shaft or those conversion U-joints. Overall, the shifter works, the transmission works, it goes forward. The spool does spoolie things, which is annoying, but that's what it's supposed to do. And we've been looking for those freaking U-joint caps, and I can't find them anywhere. So either they fell out down the road. I don't even know how they could have fallen out. They have the C-clips that hold them in the yoke. And I know I put them in. I just don't know where the hell they went. But again, this is why you do shakedowns. And I'm just glad that it came off in the backyard. And that's another reason why you have that safety loop, because if you see how that drive shaft is hanging down to the ground, at a drag strip, if that happened, and you're going, say, 90 mile an hour or better, that drive shaft is going to dig into the ground, and you're not going to have a good day. One cap still there is the C-clip on it. At least these tires didn't blow tubes like Jezebel's did. Is it in there?
Broken.
Yeah. Broke?
I mean, probably when this came out.
Yeah.
It's still in there, and it's flush in there.
Yeah.
It's like this one might have threw out.
Huh.
And let it come out.
Well, I guess we're pushing this thing the rest of the way to put it home.
It ain't just like right in here, is there?
I don't see nothing, but maybe get a magnet out here.
You know, when you put it in reverse, it throws a whole different load on everything.
Here's a seal. Found one of the seals to it.
Oh, yeah. It
might be down here. But again, reason why you do a shakedown run. Don't do anything stupid on the first drive. Imagine what would happen if that was during a burnout.
That's why you put a safety loop on it.
Exactly. Now, if I can't get Jezebel's original one to work with this, we'll get another one. They're pretty cheap. All right, we're going to see what we can do. We're going to put this thing away because, well, there's no more driving it, but we did accomplish it, Dad. 4 months of solid freaking work. We took this thing from a clapped out shell of a race car that nobody wanted, apparently, and we got it back on the road. Pretty proud of that. For everybody's amusement, an old guy and a fat guy pushing a race car that ain't got a drive shaft anymore. That's about as far as we got, and we're both pretty winded. I just realized it isn't going to turn worth a crap. We're wondering why it don't turn. It's got a freaking spool. So we're fighting the big tires that are wanting to grip on everything. And you know, you'd think the grass would be nice, but I bet you that grass is gripping because it's soft still. So we're just gonna put it here. So if we get a wild hair and we want to do Jezebel and fix her, we can still get the truck in here and get the engine and stuff out. But I got a feeling getting the drive shaft made and fixed for this thing is gonna be more important than tearing that car 100% apart.
Say, Dad. Yeah, we can go back and work on my service truck. It's a lot easier.
And pushing really took it out of us.
That thing don't like to roll.
It don't like to turn.
It don't like to turn.
You get the tires straight, oh, it just back and forth with a finger. But you try and turn it, old and a fat guy, depending on who you ask. Because you ask him, it's the other way around, apparently. So here's the synopsis. Okay, drive shaft needs to be fixed. Better U-joints. Oil leaks. I know we're leaking oil out the front. I didn't put enough silicone down because I was trying to be conservative and not have a shitload of it. Need a little more right there, hopefully. Oil pump appears to be spewing out of some of the bolts, so that's not bueno. That header tube is still cracked. We'll be fixing that. Everything else though, we got a little bit of oil seepage down here by that spark plug. Got to figure out what's going on there. Other than that, I mean, coolant stays nice and cool. Ignition keeps burning. Alternator's working. Fuel's fueling. Brakes are braking. They work. Let's go with that. We checked the line lock yesterday, but we didn't do anything with it today. I think the brake pads just need to get seated in, and that'll stop better because new pads on old dirty crusty rotors we shined up a little bit, so those need to be properly seated in. We do need to get rear shocks in this car. I didn't hardly notice not having them, but we do need to get rear shocks. So overall, even though the drive shaft popped out, I would still consider it a success. Did we do a bunch of Cletus McFarland vice grip garage crazy gnarly burnouts that just tear up cars? No. Did I want to? Kind of yes, because it's a race car. But also for shakedown, and you see the neighborhood I live in. And we're trying to be respectful to the neighborhood. But we did find out the car stops, it shifts, and it goes in a straight line. So that's the successful part. What says you, Dad?
Success is always a good thing.
Yeah. It's funny. That race car blew the drive shaft, actually blew the transmission up. And this one, there's something about blue race cars.
It might be something in our driveline technology.
I think it's the fact that the conversion U-joints I don't like.
Line them up here. The only
Yeah.
thing staying together is old charge.
It's because you don't drive it. If you don't drive it, it don't break. I mean, the satellite, it's just got a flat tire, and that front carburetor's got a stripped out bowl. I just got to either replace that main body or put a single 4 on it. It's a shame that Brian didn't get here any sooner because he could have witnessed this. Sorry, Brian. And by the way, Brian, my friend from Dust Devil Garage, he is actually on his way here today. Supposedly, I need to double check, make sure they still are. They're only like an hour and a half away, possibly, and they missed this. And so did my brother, Michael. Where are you? I know you're freshly married and you have responsibilities and stuff, but you missed it because it's gonna rain in like 30 minutes, supposedly. An hour, maybe. So, anyways, regardless, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying tuned to this whole build series. Any of you who did. 4 months of freaking work to take that thing from insert picture here to insert better picture here. And it freaking runs and drives. That is freaking cool to me. Lots of work, and
It's our first blower engine.
it's our very, yeah, we wanted to do something different. We're not into turbos. Those are just not our thing. This is literally our very first blown engine we've ever done anything with a supercharger. And yeah, we could have just shoved the motorhome engine directly in the Cuda, but it would have never had, it just wouldn't have been as cool. It's got a freaking 671. And yeah, even though it ain't got Teflon strips, it ain't making crazy boosts, it ain't no high helix jobber, it's old school. And it works. It makes whooshy sounds, and I never hooked up the boost gauge, but I know it's making boost.
It makes it a hell of a lot louder when the freaking blower's on as when the blower's not on.
Yeah.
It rattles my ears.
Yeah.
I can tell by the ear meter. Ear meter.
The ear meter.
Ear meter.
The deaf old guy ear meter.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta give a huge shout out to all the friends who helped supply parts. Ed Barber from the intake, he also hooked us up with the blower. Daniel Barber from 710 Red Beer Racing. Transmission came from him, which we bought. We bought all this stuff. Nobody gave us anything. We bought the rear end from my good buddy Sean down in Anthony, Kansas. Cool guy. Carburetors came from, I think his name is Doug. He's here in Kansas. He's a fellow Holly guy. The radiator came from Auto City 1958. We bought that. Differential, everything else came from Jegs. Anything we had to buy, we bought from Jegs. Swap meet parts, we got all the gauges from Jegs, of course. The wheels and tires came from my good friend Cody, who races a 69 fastback Barracuda at Mocan. Probably one of my favorite cars that race there, and I can't wait to line up with him with this 68. Oh, Dan Peacock for the tail lights and finish panel off a 69. Oh, and of course to Mom for helping me do the mock-up on the engine. And Anna for all the little things she did, and then all the little things she kind of screwed up, but still did her best. Huge shout out to my brother for helping me do all the brake work and always being here to hang out. And of course, this guy, the wiring, plumbing magician.
Oh gosh.
Without Dad, it'd probably get done, but it wouldn't get done as nice. It would be very, very sketchy. It'd be duct tape for wires. And of course to all you guys for watching and enjoying the series. So, look forward to seeing you guys next year at the racetrack. And let's move on to the next project. I don't know why I flipped this around, but it's one of these. Trust me, we'll see what happens. So, as always, look forward to seeing the next one. Take care and
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.